Jerusalem for about a day. He already could have seen the church in Jerusalem of Jews who have believed. And so he says, you see these Jews who have believed, and they are zealous for the law, and they have been told about you that you teach all the Jews who are among the Gentiles. So he even makes a distinction between Jews and Gentiles in his own statement that these Jews are to forsake Moses, telling them not to circumcise their children or walk according to our customs. So why would he say you see? Because he's already been in Jerusalem for about a day and recognized the church of Jerusalem at the time. If you actually started at verse 17 like I wanted us to, you wouldn't ask a stupid question like that. But if you just want to continue to pop yourself around, you can go ahead and do that. But everybody else knows that you're just talking out of smoke.
No, it sounds good, but like I said, man, it don't add up what the text is saying. And then another thing, right? So
the only thing I did was read the text. Now, Obadiah. Because I gotta go in like 5 minutes. Because I'm sort of sick of this. Where in the text?
I was just quiet for you. Why are you cutting me off, bro?
Where in the text does it
bro,
say?
You're not running nothing.
Where in this text
oh my God,
does it say that these Gentiles are Jews who have a Gentile mindset? Where in the text?
It clearly says, right? He says, thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe. Now he tells them they heard that you're going around telling people not to keep the law.
No, not telling people.
All
read
right,
the passage.
Bro, you're studying
among the Gentiles.
Esau,
calm down. You failed to reach this distinction.
Calm down.
Read the passage.
Down, bro. Edom, calm down. I know you're getting excited, bro, but just calm down, Edom.
Nigga, I'm black.
All right.
Hey, y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. But hey, before we continue this, listen, what does Titus 3:1-3 say? All right, y'all gotta relax.
Yeah.
Hey,
don't slander anyone.
If he gonna call me out my name, I'm gonna show him what it is.
I get it. But both of y'all, come on. Titus 3. Jeremiah for sure, because you know what Titus 3 says. Verse 3. They were once foolish. We were once foolish like they were. So we have to be gentle enough with it.
I'll be honest with you, Dom. It's true. We all used to be foolish, but with all due respect, I ain't that foolish.
No, for sure. But
Obadiah has seen me on multiple occasions. He knows what I am, and I ain't no white man by his standards.
No, I ain't gonna lie. I thought you was an Edomite, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. My bad. I apologize.
Then you as dumb as you look.
No. He apologized. It was a misunderstanding. Let's forgive 70 times 7. All that. Let's just have the conversation respectfully.
I only got a few minutes, man. We got to continue this on because
Obadiah, say what you got to say, and then Black Doctor will respond, and then I'll take over.
Yeah. Now, like I was saying though, see, right after he says that they are informed that you teach all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses and not to circumcise their children. When you go down to verse 25, he's responding to those rumors in verse 25 when he says, as touching the Gentiles which believe, we have read and concluded that they observe no such thing, save only that they keep themselves from things offered to idols and from blood and from strangled and from fornication. He's talking about the rumors that he heard that the people was going around saying that Paul was teaching people not to circumcise their children and things like that. And they responded by saying, we told these people that you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do that. And who are they talking about? The Jews who live among the Gentiles. And not only this, if you can't understand it, I'm gonna be quick. this is not the only scripture that says this, right? I got at least two more verses that says the same thing, basically.
Well, before
Now,
you go to the next verses, Jeremiah, do you have anything to say? I know you got. I know you got to go. Do you have anything to
I
say to his
mean,
response?
beside from just outright laughter, the man skipped from verse 21 to verse 25, skipping everything that refuted his point within the previous verses. It says here, and they have been told about you that you teach all the Jews who are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses. What then is to be done? So here is the response to the rumor in verse 20, verse 23, verse 22 is the response to the rumors, not in verse 25. Verse 22, what then is to be done? They will certainly hear that you have come. Do therefore, because the term therefore is therefore something, it is therefore responding to the rumors. Therefore, do what we tell you. We have 4 men who are under a vow. Take these men and purify yourself along with them to pay their expenses, so that they may shave their heads. Thus, all will know that there is nothing in what they have been told about you, but that you also live in observance of the law. So here we have the specific reference that this is the response to the rumors. Then you have the term in verse 25, but breaking the distinction. This is not in response to the rumors. But as for the Gentiles who have believed, not the Jews who have believed, in verse 20, but for these Gentiles we have sent a letter with our judgment, that they should abstain from what has been sacrificed to idols, from blood, and from what has been strangled, and from sexual immorality. It's absolutely amazing how a simple reading of the text from verse to verse, destroys a hermeneutic that has to read one piece from one sentence and then skip down 4 sentences afterwards and read another. You're good, Don.
I can break down the whole chapter. I can break down everything. I was just trying to make my point. But I believe while I'm reading, from me reading in context, that these Gentiles that Paul is talking about are the Jews who live amongst the Gentiles.
So that's what I'm doing. Gentiles are Jews who live amongst Gentiles. You're using the same term in 2 different ways in the same sentence.
The Jews who are living amongst the Gentiles are being called Gentiles.
That's not hermeneutically possible.
All right, let's see.
That's not hermeneutically possible, and the text does not say that. It actually makes a distinction between the Jews and the Gentiles in the very same verse.
Dominic. What we're saying, Obadiah, is simply because I know, Jeremiah, you got to go, and this is light work for me, so I can just take over. But essentially, what's being said here in this verse per se, you want to bring up a different verse? Okay, we can handle that later. But this particular verse, with the context at hand, it is not saying what you're saying. Paul is coming from Ephesus, a Gentile country or city. He's coming from Ephesus in his ministry of the Gentiles. And so he's saying when he arrives in Jerusalem, he's greeted by them, and it says and he starts to tell them about what's happened on his ministry to the Gentiles through his ministry, right? And then when they heard this, they glorified God. And then they said to Paul, as he's in Jerusalem, showing them their results of things, because all of it is happening all at the same time. Look, see, brother, how many thousands of Jews have believed, and all of them are zealous for the law. They're not referring to the people that he's been recounting about. He's bringing them. He's like, oh my God, that's so awesome. Look what we've done. You see all these Jews and everybody that's now zealous for the law. Da, 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 da. And then he says, but they are under the impression that you teach all the Jews who live among the Gentiles. So that's a distinction between the Gentiles and the Jews, because the Jews are living amongst the Gentiles. That's an identifying factor. You have to do that in order for things to make sense logically. The Jews that live amongst the Gentiles to forsake Moses, telling them not to circumcise their children or observe or observe our customs. What then should we do? So they heard this rumor that you over here telling the the Jews that are amongst the Gentiles not to follow the law of Moses and circumcise and stuff like that. So this is what we're gonna do. So then what should we do? They will go here. They will certainly hear that you've come. They about to see you here. So this is what we're about to do, because they heard that you are telling the Jews that are amongst the Gentiles, whom you are going to preach, that whom your ministry is toward, to not hold our customs. We do what we advise you. These 4 men who are with us have taken a vow. Take these men, purify yourselves along with them, pay their expenses so that they can have their heads shaved, and that everyone will know that there is no truth to these rumors about you. But you